morning. It's amazing what things look like up close, isn't it? Moss on a track. Right then, well, here we are out for another one. So what have I brought you today, boys and girls, friends, cretins, extraterrestrials? We are, probably unsurprisingly for me, at this moment, beside a railway line. Now, I do like history, and it's not always to talk about trains, but of course, over the past couple of years, this has been my interest that has grown and grown again. Possibly more so than it was when I was rather young. Now then, where you're looking at there is eastwards. This is just east of Hensall, looking towards Snaith. Now, just in the distance, that was good before you get to the other red light. I think there's something coming from one direction, at least anyway here. Right about there, where that sort of lighter bit is where the spur goes off with Drax. Now I think it's still two lines that goes off to Drax. Straight ahead, it's down to one line. It used to be two, because I've been to Rockcliffe Bridge and I've seen where the other one used to be. But now it's just one line. And I imagine most of it was a lot of goods coming in and out. Of course, you got the 3 power stations around here, and there was a lot of coal dug out. I've done a video on Nottingham before, haven't I? I've spoken about all the sidings over there and how they used to store things. It's only 2 lines here now, I think 4 Drax. There's that much that goes up and down from there. Mostly trains with Drax with the wood chippings, which I've spoken about before. But there's Interbulk train, which I think is gas. I saw some of them at Birmingham, although I don't think I looked on real-time trains to see where they actually go, but it must be there. There's only one other train, and that seems to come from that direction. It goes down to Ferrybridge Power Station, which of course isn't there anymore. Well, the cooling tower's out there anymore. There is still some sort of activity at Ferrybridge Power Station. Right, well, that's all there is that side. This side, again, you've got the Drax line going off towards Hensall and then Nottingham and all that. And as you might be able to see, you've got the main line coming up there. Going up to, well, I've been to the point where it splits off. Like the old main line used to go through Selby. I can't remember the moment when they changed it, but they made it bypass Selby. It starts heading up straight to York. Comes together with the Leeds York line at Colton. And then you've got Cotmanthorpe, the place where we used to go to watch a lot of trains. It's going southwards to Doncaster. You don't see a bit of the M62 there. You know, I used to drive through this area quite a bit, and I never used to realise how close everything was. It was a bit of a surprise when, you know, I walked and then from the road at Hensall you suddenly get to the railway line and then you're on to the next road and then there's the M62 and then there's a canal, all within a very short distance of each other. I'm going to wait for this and then I'll move over and talk about some of the other stuff going on here. It's going to be a Class 66 this. It looks red, it might be DB. I don't think, there's not that many EWS these days. But there's a signal for going in as well. I've got an impression that something was going to come that way. They tend to pass each other around Nottingham. Yeah, it's a DB. Still got bits of line where it's but I think I've been here before and observed that. It's going up and down when they're going over it. Tried to calculate it in, but I didn't. I'm going to attempt to cross. But that signal is still, well, it's not green though. It's there for going slow. Right. Heck-ing is a level crossing, that's what it's called. Stopped here before for a walk. It's a bit easier to park in this location. Well, the park on the other side, and to my recollection, you could park on that bit that I've come to, but I don't know. I don't know if you're supposed to. Well, there's a sign up saying to keep it clear for network rail, so obviously there is access for some reason, but I don't know. I don't think I'll park there again. Right, anyway, well, as you can see, there's an old bridge here. They're taking the bridge out for some reason. But there's an old spur that used to come round from the main line to go east on here. I don't know much more than that, actually. Makes you wonder why the spur coming up from Selby goes east towards Goole. Oh, well. Yeah, well, you haven't thought that one through very much, have you? Well, obviously Goole was a port, wasn't it? Ah, now then, there's something coming to mind here. Was Selby, because Selby is still tidal, I think things used to dock at Selby because of the canals, so they could take stuff up the canals. But then I think Goole grew as a port and took the business away from Selby. I think that's the right way around. If something's coming to mind about that, it might be the other way around. But that's for you to research, isn't it? I give you the incentive. And then you do the rest of it. If you're interested, of course. I just think it's throwaway rubbish and not listen to it. Well, I don't mean throw away rubbish, I mean not interested in that sort of thing. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, I don't think you can walk on it either. Well, I think they probably should reinstate it. What do you think about most of the old railway lines? Most of them are sat doing nothing. Well, there's another thing though, isn't there? You know, investment. I think it'd be nice to open all of these lines again, but it doesn't just need the investment on the lines. It needs the trains to go on it, not just the passenger trains, but the freight as well. I still think, I mean, I know roads are probably very easy for a lot of people, but it's quite easy to do things by rail. You know, if you've got big ports at either end, especially when you're thinking of containers, you know, it's probably the easiest way to do it. That container port just outside of Leeds, that's always got stuff going in and out of it. But then you see these lines being empty quite a bit. That's where it needs more investment. So there's going to be cargo. I mean, these freight trains take the time going places. Oh, look at what happens on the roads with all of them. They tend to get held up. I suppose roads more for location, isn't it? But if you put yourself near these old railways, I see the logic in it. Anyway, here's the bit of the other bridge as it's coming around to join the main line. There's that house as well. When I took the ride out to Goole that time, on the spur with the Drax, as you're coming over to join the single track line, there's a house in that junction. Oh, that's what I recall anyway. I've often wondered how you get to some of these places. There must be a road going off somewhere that goes towards it. Oh, well, there's the one going in. And there's the loophole. I'd say stepwise, I'm probably up to about, 4,000-5,000 today. I've already been in Pontefract a bit. I had to do a bit of walking there. Well, I didn't have to do a bit of walking. I parked in a location where I would have to do some walking. And then, well, I suppose there's not much more of interest to talk about. There's one more point about, because I didn't mention it before when I was talking about Selby and the line going up there. I've walked over that end as well. I think possibly the same day. No, it was a different day. Yeah, never mind. And where it goes under the river, over the river, is where the junction is. Now, in my mind, that didn't seem to work for me. Maybe they had to work out measurements for it to branch off, but it starts to branch off before it gets to the river. So essentially, they had to build another bridge and spend more money on it. So they've got two bridges going over the river as they're separating. I think, wouldn't it have been better to wait till you got over the bridge? Then all you'd have to do is put track down instead of putting another bridge in. Pardon me. Again, though, I haven't looked into the story behind it being built and all that anyway, so there may be more of a reason behind it, I don't know. But I think as far as this video goes, and all the stuff I'm talking about and looking at here, that is that. So I shall see you, talk to you. I don't know if you'll see me. I often think it's more interesting to show when I'm walking than for me to talk to a camera and talk to you. But there you go. I'll talk to you soon. I'm sure I'll get these 11,000 quite easily today because I don't have to go to work. It's a day off. Makes things a lot easier. Right, see you later. Bye.